What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Serial Creators, where we're going to be talking about the creative content that we see across social media and every other platform.
Yeah.
So today, we are eating, drum roll please.
Oh, that was so loud, sorry.
Break our table. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Woo! I think this is my top three.
Top
cereal.
three?
I say top three.
What are your other two?
Frosted Flakes and, it's top two. It's Frosted Flakes and Captain
I like
Crunch.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms?
Yeah.
Okay. Top three cereal.
Lucky Charms. Ooh, I like shredded wheat, but like frosted shredded wheat.
Awesome. Another day.
And anything chocolate like Cocoa Puffs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with those. So today, we are going to be talking about, drum roll please, crunch time content. We are going to be talking about some pieces of content that we found across social media that came
Hold
at
on.
a very close
You keep
time.
talking.
I'm sorry, everybody's coach was at the door. Hey, coach, welcome to Serial Creatives. But today we're going to be talking about some crunch time pieces that we see across social media. Whether there's a big event going on or whether there's a, TV show or maybe something like the Oscars, Super Bowl. Brands love to take advantage of that time to really put out pieces of content that's relevant to what's going on. Whether it's a trend, a meme, or my favorite, a Vine, which is not here no more.
R.I.P. Vine 2's coming out though. Vine 2's coming out.
Really?
But I think the reason is because when those things happen, that's when people are fleeing to social media the most.
For
so
sure.
you know that people are going to be listening. You know
Definitely.
that your audience is there.
For sure.
So you want to reach them.
For sure. And a lot of
Right.
brands try to take advantage of making something that's shareable.
Right.
It's good to scroll and, like something, but if I can share it, then I know it's a good piece of content. For sure.
Exactly.
So that's why we're eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch today, the second best cereal in my life.
All right, that makes sense.
So what are some crunch time pieces that you've seen that you're really attracted to?
Yeah, so I found two that I liked the most.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me find them.
Pour me a bowl.
Go for it. So one of them was when Pokemon Go was the biggest thing.
Right.
There was it was by Mentos. You know Mentos, the little mints?
Definitely.
They made a game, a screenshot game, and it looked like the Pokemon Go screen, but it was Mentos were popping across the screen. So they were trying to catch Mentos.
That's neat.
And it was what you were talking about. It was one of those things that you wanted to share with your friends. It was
For sure.
a game, and it was fun, and it was so timely. That was an example of them creating crunch time content. Because as soon as
That's
that became popular, they didn't want to miss the trend. And I think that's the big thing about crunch time content.
For sure.
Is when something is trending, especially in social media, it's so quick, it's so
Right.
fast, and so you hit the peak of when something's really, really popular,
Right.
and then it's just lame, and it's and you're like that guy who's still talking about that thing that happened
Right.
yesterday.
Come on, man, that was so 2017.
Yeah. So as a brand, you want to be able to create that content as soon as you can,
For sure.
so that it's timely.
For sure. Another brand that's really good at that is Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report is awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As far as
You poured me up. Oh,
I got
thanks.
you. I have the game here. For sure. Shout out to Kosha, who's our official milkman. I took his place for a
He
little
also
bit,
brought
but
me a charger.
He's
Thanks,
still the
Kosha.
official milkman. Follow Kosha at Kosha on every platform. But Bleacher Report is a really awesome brand that captures real-time content in a phenomenal way, in my opinion.
I started following them about 2 weeks ago because you told me to, and I didn't know anything about sports, but now I know so much about sports, and I really do feel in tune to what's going on, and I feel like I can talk about stuff.
Side note, Nisha is an official basketball player now. We actually just introduced her to what a three-pointer is, and now she can make free throws.
Yeah, I learned how to play basketball last night. I'm really sore. I should be eating Wheaties.
We're going to put you on the Wheaties box. Or Cinnamon Toast Crunch box. Ooh. No, but Bleacher Report is a really good brand. They are really good at coming out with content right after big games are happening. With the NBA going on right now, there are numerous amounts of highlights that places like Sports Center will showcase. But they are really good at animating and really showcasing what's going on as a highlight in a fun and shareable way. One of my favorite was actually around the time when Kobe Bryant was retiring from the NBA.
Yeah.
And there was a piece, I can't remember the designer that did it. If you're watching this, please tag yourself, or if anyone knows, please let me know. But it was actually this photo collage of all these basketball players that were surrounding Kobe as he was going up for a shot, and it morphed between his series of being number 8 into him being number 24.
Okay.
And it shows like the involvement of like the new players that came into the league, and I thought it was like, it's a great piece. It was a phenomenal piece. For sure.
Didn't he win an Oscar?
He did.
I know that because I follow them. And they had this really cool illustration of Kobe, and he was like facing backwards, and he was like holding an Oscar in one hand and maybe a basketball in the other hand, and like he was in front of like Leonardo DiCaprio and some other people like clapping.
That's neat.
But he was wearing his jersey instead of like a suit, and I just thought it was so cool. And I got everything I needed to out of that one image. I didn't get a chance to watch the Oscars. And I obviously don't know much about basketball, but I got all I needed to know. And so now I can be like, yo, did you know Kobe won an Oscar? You sound like I know what I'm talking about.
That's why he used to go. Kobe is great. Another great piece I seen was, it was a while back for the Super Bowl. I believe it was by Oreo. And you remember the Super Bowl that the lights went out? Oreo had a great piece where they had like this kind of this photo. It's like a graphic of Oreo, and they had like the spotlight
in the dark.
Yeah, and had the spotlight on her. I thought that was really neat because it came at a very clutch time where, I mean, the lights went out in the Super Bowl. Can you imagine that? I mean, imagine being at the biggest game. Can you imagine singing at?
Oh my god! and then the lights just go out.
And the lights just go out. That would be.
I'm stressed for that person. But yeah, and at the bottom it said like, it's never too dark to dunk.
Oh,
so cute.
See, that was at an NBA Finals game. I think that was.
Oh yeah, even better.
Clutch.
But yeah, that's so. Yeah, you're right. So they had to create that like as soon as that happened.
Right.
So they had to have and it can be hard to like always have someone on hand ready to do that. But I think it's just important to try your best and like not give up just because you can't take your DSLR camera out there or whatever.
Right.
Like if you can shoot something on an iPhone,
it's
probably going to be great.
Yeah.
And what's more important is like, obviously you want to have something that's great quality, but you also want it to be timely. So like you has to be done quickly.
Right.
That's the point.
For sure. And that's how brands succeed, just getting that time frame. But, don't be so, I guess people shouldn't be so beat up around, like be so hard on themselves because they miss it, because new things happen every day. Like,
every day.
If you guys on Twitter, like there's never a day I go on Twitter and I don't laugh at something, like something that's relevant that's going on. Like the big thing now is the Patrick meme. Have you seen the Patrick meme?
With SpongeBob, like SpongeBob and Patrick.
It is hilarious.
It's so funny.
And it's kind of creepy, but
if you haven't seen it, I'll put it in the comments.
Right.
But it is kind of creepy.
It is kind of creepy, but it is funny. Like people. Man, it's just amazing how Twitter can bring out the creativity in people. Like, you never know how much talent is out there to you.
And it's literally just like a screenshot of Patrick from some episode, and then just people caption it with different things to make it relevant to what their brand is, and it's hilarious.
For sure.
Yeah.
I said another brand that's really doing good on real time is Dick's Sporting Goods. Recently, they've been really relevant as far as like posting content around things that has like happened in sports over the past year. One thing that sticks out to me was the home run derby when I can't remember the guy's name.
You got the wrong person to ask.
Oh wow! Okay, give me a second, guys. I gotta Google. I'm just.
They also they had just had the Winter Olympics, and they were doing some of that. They were like sending out tweets for that, which was cute.
That was really awesome. Because they was able to jump into these conversations and it really just brightened a lot of people's day that, I'm working on the winter and the Winter Olympics are going on, and I got this huge brand saying, hey.
Like tweeting at me.
Right,
personally.
we see you, like keep working.
That's awesome.
Keep going. We see you. That's what I'm talking about, Dick's Sporting Goods. That would make me feel great.
Yeah, but I think what you said, like jumping into the conversation, I think that's what's so important about it, is like, not just being relevant, but like what's important is that you're reaching people and then you're joining the conversation because they're already having it on social media.
Right.
And so like as a brand, if you can jump in and participate rather than just like being sort of a billboard of information.
Right.
If you're part of the conversation and you're engaging with them, they're going to want to engage with you back.
For sure.
So.
Definitely. I mean, how would you feel if one of the biggest brands in the world just said, hey, I think you're doing great? I feel pretty good.
I feel pretty good too.
Pretty good. And I'm not like a big workout person, but I would definitely work out more.
I am.
To see if someone else can come back and do it. By the way, Nisha can bench press 450 pounds, just in case anybody was wondering.
Tell everybody you know.
I witnessed this, so I
Get that rumor started.
For sure. So is there any other like piece of content that we, that was like really, really, really neat as far as something
I'm
like
trying to think. So there was this is kind of almost different. So I know a lot of the things we talked about were like really funny things, and sometimes your brand may not like fit into that. When you remember the dress that was like white and gold, but also blue and black, and like different people saw it differently.
That dress was blue and black.
Woo, messed with my mind.
I would not argue with no one else. It's blue and black, people.
I also did see blue and black.
That's what I'm talking about. We know what we said. Jeez.
But like, whoa, that's crazy because I'm wearing white and gold and you're wearing blue and black.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Mine.
We did not plan this. But so like when that meme or like whatever that was at the time, I don't even think it was called memes at that time.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought it was just funny picture.
But yeah, so like when that was really popular, the Salvation Army tweeted like this kind of serious image of a woman in a white and gold dress, but she had some like black and blue bruises, and it was like, how come we can't always see black and blue? And it was like really, and it was like 1 in 6 women are victims.
Wow.
Of like domestic violence. And so it was just, it just took this like something that was really funny and relevant and made it really serious, but also have like a really big impact for that brand. And they got a lot of engagement with that post, and again, a lot of shares,
for sure.
which was great because it was raising awareness.
Right.
So, yeah. But they found a way to like engage and join that conversation, even though it may not have seemed like something that they really could have participated in.
Right.
So they really thought out of the box on that one. I thought that was cool.
No, that was awesome. Another one was yesterday. Yesterday was International Women's Day. Shout out to all the women out there.
Woo!
Women, y'all are awesome. But McDonald's had a really neat campaign they did where they actually turned the Golden Arches upside down, which I thought was very clever. That's your W. But they turned the Golden Arches upside down to a W to really celebrate women.
That would have been easier.
That are that really just make up this world. Ladies, thank you. I love you all.
No.
Yeah, but that was a really, really good campaign.
And that one stood out, yeah, for sure.
Definitely. That's one of those thumb stoppers.
Yeah.
If you don't know what thumb stopper is, that's when you're scrolling and that's when you stop. Something that makes you stop. So you ever see some content out there, make sure you call it thumb stopper. For sure.
And then what's even better is like if you stopped and shared it. Next level,
True.
True. What else? Oh, I wrote down like social listening was something I thought about when we came up with this topic. Like just listening to the way that people are talking about your brand, so that when you're talking back to them, you're kind of addressing them in the same sort of language.
Right. Sure.
I don't know if that makes sense, but really like just if people are talking, for example, if you're like a coffee brand, coffee company, and the way that you're talking about your coffee is very like, our coffee is really great and it's good and it's healthy and et cetera, but the people that like want coffee are talking about how good it tastes and like how it helps them pull all-nighters, or like there's just this total different vibe. I don't know if that made any sense, but it's just like, you've got to see how people are talking about your brand and how you can fit into that. So instead of being like, our coffee's really healthy and it'll help you start your morning right, you could say like, got an all-nighter, like we got you, because you see that that's how people are talking about coffee. Right.
Because it's so relevant. Like people nowadays who goes to sleep at 9 o'clock?
Not me. Like, I went to bed at 4.
But it's so relevant, and it's good that brands are now like really understanding like how their consumers of today are really thinking. Like this millennial age, like everyone. Well, not everyone, but most people are in college, so all nights is a common thing. People love sports. People love food, aka
people
pizza.
Love
Puppies.
You just can't go wrong. Like it doesn't matter what your brand is. Just put a puppy in the picture and you're good to go. Sure. I will share it.
For sure. And GIFs, everyone loves GIFs.
What was that? Oh, recently, did you see that commercial with the tiny pig? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It was like an animated pig. I'll put that in the in the comments as well. But it was this like adorable tiny pig, and it was for like an insurance company or something.
Right. Yeah.
So it was like something about saving money. It was like a cute little animated piggy bank. But the point of that is like insurance sounds so boring, and like trying to market that, I'm sure the people are sitting in that office are like, what can we talk about today? I don't know, you know.
All right.
But so they came up with this campaign of this really, really cute animated pig, and it's like a piggy bank, and you just fall in love with it. It's like it makes me think of puppies. Like it's one of those things you're like, oh really? And we shared it throughout the office.
Right. It was
everyone was like,
awesome.
this is so cute. You need to see this. And so, like, who would have thought we'd be watching a commercial for an insurance company?
Right.
You know.
And that's the good thing of like crunch time, content. It's not always just in that exact moment. It's just sometimes like what's going on in the times now. Another one we seen a while back, I think it was a bank or some financial firm or things like that, but it was this dad, it was kind of like in a dream, but his dad was watching his daughter come down the aisle in this wedding, but the wedding was so animated, like you had the bird, like the animated bird chirping, you had, oh man, it was just so much stuff going on. It's like, you be thinking like how a little girl's
like dream wedding,
like how it goes. She had everything her
Aww.
way. It was animated just like that. But at the end of it, it showed this dad staring at his daughter when she was young, like in her coloring book or something.
I just got goosebumps.
I couldn't handle it.
I wasn't ready for this today.
I just couldn't take it. It was just so much. No, but it was awesome. Like, but it was such a relevant thing because I guess the target audience or the type of people that interacted with the brand, they was at a time where they have to save for their children's futures, and it was a really crunch time piece that I think hit the hearts of their target audience. So
it hit my heart. I haven't even seen it.
I only have kids, and I'm crying like I want my daughter to draw in the coloring book, and we can't do wedding with them.
Thanks, losing it.
I'm losing. I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah, that's a really good example.
Awesome.
And I think another thing is to look for content trends. So not necessarily like what meme is trending or what phrase or what whatever like that, but like what kind of content. So you're right. For a while, it was Vines, like.
Right.
6-second videos were the thing.
Right.
So like if you weren't making 6-second videos, no one was stopping,
Right.
So I mean, I guess because Vine kind of died, that's kind of gone for now, but like GIFs have made a comeback. GIFs or GIFs, I don't know.
It's GIFs, people.
I say GIFs.
The owner says it's GIFs.
That's what I said. That's what I tell people, and they're like, it stands for graphic something. And I'm like, okay, but he decided what he wanted to call it.
Right.
Anyway, so GIFs are popular. And people will like use, GIFs of like TV shows like The Office or something.
Right.
And like those are so funny and people can relate to them because they've seen the shows and they can feel those feelings. So like GIFs are one of the types of content that that is trending.
For sure.
What else? Animations.
Animations are huge.
Games. Like I was talking about the Mentos game, like screenshot games, those kinds of things are trending because it's like a way to get involved and like actually stop and participate and engage with the brand rather than just seeing a picture.
Definitely. Dick's Sporting Goods has done a good job with that lately. They for the Super Bowl they even had a field goal screenshot game to where they had this animated picture or graphic, you want to call it, of like this kicker kicking a field goal, but the ball was placed in many ways and you had to screenshot it to catch it in the goal. And that created a lot of engagement for them. So, pieces like that's going on around, relevant things going on, like, obviously Super Bowl, outside of sports. I'm trying to think of like I'm just a sports guy, I just love sports. I'm trying to think of things that are going on.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other ones. Like the Pokemon Go one. That one was so relevant at the time. Sure. I was like, Pokemon Go was like taking over the world for a while.
Definitely.
It was such a big thing.
I was one of the guys I had to watch people do it. I didn't necessarily get into it at the time, but I don't know. It's kind of contradicting because I was
about to say I learned about Hank yesterday that he was obsessed with Pokemon as a kid.
Yes.
Had all the cards. Still has the cards.
They have limited editions.
So yeah, I mean, there's just always things. So like, I think what's important is listening,
Definitely.
social listening, beyond monitoring. Like, not just seeing what's going on and what has happened already, but how you can fit into it,
Right.
or really beyond fit in, like stand out
For sure.
to
Definitely.
make people stop.
Right.
And then also looking for trends, whether that be like types of content or events are huge things. I mean, that's like the Super Bowl, the Oscars, anything
Right.
like that. The Bachelor finale,
Right.
like
March Madness is
shout
about
out
to start.
Aubrey. Aubrey in our office loves The Bachelor, The Batch. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, anything like that is going to be a big event that you know people are going to be talking about on social media.
For
So
sure.
that's those types of things. Though we would probably call them crunch time content, like you know they're coming up.
For sure.
So like prepare and see how you can fit into those conversations, and then when they're happening, you might have to switch up your plan of attack if you see that people are acting a certain way or
For
talking
sure.
about it a certain way,
For sure.
and then you can and then you can create content.
For sure. And don't overthink your pieces. You know,
Yeah.
I know it's really good to go after perfect content, you want it to look great. But sometimes just, as long as it's something out there, like, that actually does well, then, spending a lot of time and, trying to perfect this one thing that's going to be scrolled past, like, in
Right.
a matter of seconds. So, definitely. Well, awesome.
My
Well,
cereal's getting soggy.
I know. But it's cinnamon, so it doesn't matter. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I'll always love you. I'll always love you.
Oh man.
Awesome. Well, we thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Serial Creatives. And if you guys run across some Crunch Time content that you want to share, let us know. Drop it in the comments. Reach out to us. We want to see it. We want to see what we missed when it comes to Crunch Time content.
And if you have any questions,
For sure. Feel free to
comments.
reach out to us. Awesome. We appreciate you guys joining us, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Serial Creatives.
bye. Have a good
Peace.
weekend.